Hey, what's happening, guys? What's going on YouTube? Good morning, everybody. In today's video, we're going to be talking about an article from Zero Hedge titled Crypto Carnage Erases Over 200 billion in Market Cap. The past couple days have seen quite the drop in pretty much cryptocurrencies across the board. Big cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum got hit especially hard, as well as some of the small caps really got destroyed. So we're going to be taking a look at today's article, and my buddy Brian Phobos is back making videos, and I'm kind of excited to see him back. He'd been kind of quiet for a while, and I think he has some really good insights. He's not at all hype. Most of that's kind of what turns me off to crypto. Most of the cryptocurrency news, cryptocurrency channels, even before Bitcoin went on this recent parabolic run, it was like, oh, this Wall Street analyst says Bitcoin could be worth $1 million by March of 2021. This cryptocurrency analyst, everything is clickbait and hype, and it's not even worth paying attention to. So I like some of the kind of level-headed, kind of grounded people like Brian Phobos. So excited to see he is making videos again. And rather than just talking about price and speculation, I think he's a developer, coder, whatever. I know he was part of the EOS hackathon a couple years back in Australia. He actually gets into these products. He actually uses the cryptocurrencies as they were designed to be used. He uses platform like Steemit and Hive and a lot of the other ones. So if you're looking to get more into the crypto space and actually engage with a lot of these apps and these tools and kind of actually use these cryptocurrencies as opposed to just speculating on them, I think he's a great guy to follow. It's kind of funny. Brian Phobos made a video the other day kind of predicting this. And in the comments, we kind of see the same thing. People are saying, as soon as you see, was it Jamie Dimon and JP Morgan and all these institutions rah-rahing Bitcoin, it's all over Yahoo News. You even got guys like Gary Vee getting back into Bitcoin. Back during the 2018 bull rush, every YouTuber and their mother, every make money guru, every entrepreneur online was talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, whether they were involved in it or not, just because there's some decent affiliate programs out there. Everyone was trying to cash in on the $10 free Coinbase money. And you saw all these people who'd never touched Bitcoin before getting back into Bitcoin. So I saw Gary Vee made a video the other day on one of his secondary channels. Ty Lopez hasn't gotten back into the Bitcoin and the crypto space. We're going to see a lot more people rushing back into it. It's kind of funny. I have a lot of friends who I've been trying to get into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency since like $200, $400, $3,000. And nobody had any interest. And all of a sudden now that Bitcoin is pumping, everybody wants to buy Bitcoin. And it's just, I think we're all kind of like this, but it's hilarious that nobody wants to touch Bitcoin when it's down, but then everybody wants to buy at the peaks, and then everybody wants to cry later when they bought at $40,000 instead of buying at $3,000, and then it winds up tanking on them. As far as this recent Bitcoin pullback, Bitcoin was at what, 40,600, wound up pulling back to, I think right now, what are we at, 32,000? I think it's actually fallen earlier today. I think last night I saw it at 36 or 38. Earlier this morning I saw it at 34, and now it's at 32,000. And here's the thing, unless you're somebody who bought at the absolute peak, even if you bought at the peak back in 2018 of 19,600, 19,800, whatever it got to, you are substantially in the money right now. If you're a dollar cost average type of person, I wouldn't say halt your investments. At that point, you're trying to kind of time the market. But if you're a dollar cost average guy, do your dollar cost average thing. I wouldn't be dumping any substantial amounts of money into crypto right now. I've kind of talked about, I actually think in a lot of ways, 2021 is going to be a much worse year than 2020. We're going to be actually experiencing a lot of the fallout from a lot of what we did back in 2020. The lockdowns, the business closures, the restaurant closures. A lot of them were able to skate by on unemployment and the PEP or the CARES money or whatever. All that's come to an end. State unemployment coffers are empty. The eviction moratorium, if it's not up already, it's going to be expiring within the next week or 10 days or so. And kind of the chickens are going to come home to roost as they speak. 2020 was a rough year, but a lot of the consequences of what we did in 2020 are just going to start being seen here in the coming months. I think AMC and Regal are probably going to go under. We talked about that the other day. We did an article recently about how 85% of the restaurants in San Francisco have gone under. And it finally starts to, it's maybe a saving grace. We're finally starting to see a lot of restaurants open up in defiance. The past couple weeks, I've been noticing a lot of restaurants here in Chicago, as far as like mom and pop places, are starting to open back up. All the corporate places, for the most part, are still closed. But I've been going out to dinner every Friday, Saturday night, trying to take care of people, tipping 100% of my bill. And this past Saturday, me and a buddy of mine went and grabbed some breakfast at a breakfast spot. And you could tell the waitress was excited to be back to work. I guess they've been shut down since October. When she came over to our table, she's like, "How did you guys know we were open? Have you been here before?" And I was like, "No, I was like, it seems like breakfast places were some of the first places to start opening back up." But I said, it seemed like breakfast places were open. I've heard good things about you guys. I figured I'd check you out. And she was like, I can't tell you how many times during our meal she thanked us for coming out. And this is, she's probably like 60 something. When we came in, she's like, "Thanks for coming out, guys. Awesome to have you here." Like, you're a really nice woman, super excited. You could tell she was excited to be back at work. She was like, "We've been shut down since October. I'm so glad to be back. Thank you for coming out to support us." Had excellent service. She even told us a little joke. She said, "Did you hear about the three couples who went out to breakfast?" My buddy thought it was going to be like a news story about somebody getting in trouble for breaking lockdowns or whatever. And I kind of thought it was a joke coming, but I'll tell you the joke. It's kind of stupid. It's a dad joke, but she says, three couples were out to breakfast, and the first couple says, the husband says to the wife, "Hey, will you pass me the sugar?" And she passes him the sugar. And the second husband says, "Hey, will you pass me the honey?" And the third the third wife says, "How come you never say nice things to me like that?" And he says, "Will you pass me the bacon, you fat pig?" Ha ha, funny dad joke, whatever. But you could tell this waitress was just super excited to be back at work, and I left her a nice tip. I tipped her 100% of what my bill was. But it's good to be able to go out and support these restaurants. I think that's how things should work. If you're not comfortable opening up, don't open up. If you want to open up, open up. People who want to support restaurants or aren't scared of going out to eat will go out and support these restaurants. So hopefully that saves some of these businesses from going under, but I guess only time will tell. Without further ado, let's get into the article. Crypto Carnage erases over 200 billion in market cap. After topping 1 trillion for the first time last week, 1.1 trillion at its peak, the total market cap of the cryptocurrency space has plunged by over 20% this week, back to below 900 billion. After a bloodbath in Bitcoin and Ethereum eviscerated this weekend, Bitcoin plunged from 40,000 on Friday to 32,300 today, and I think that's about where it's sitting at right now. Ethereum plunged from over 1350 yesterday, and I don't think Ethereum has yet passed the 2018 high. Ethereum was one that Brian Phobos was talking about, and this is one that I actually thought was going to run up a while too. Bitcoin was surging towards 40,000, and Ethereum was still at like 900. It's crazy that Bitcoin like doubles its all-time high, and Ethereum hadn't yet crossed its all-time high. Although I think a lot of what contributed to Ethereum's run-up back in 2017 was ICOs. Really, the only way you could get into ICOs was with Ethereum, so that caused a ton of people to buy Ethereum just to put into ICOs. And then also you had games like CryptoKitties and CryptoTitties and others drawing in a lot of people as well. So I think that kind of played a role in kind of artificially pumping up the price of Ethereum back. So maybe it'll be a little bit harder to get back there. Let's see. It's time to determine whether this is the start of a larger correction, but we have now seen this parabola break, so it might just be, said Vihar Ahar, head of business development with crypto exchange Luno in Singapore. Various catalysts for the drop have been suggesting, including dollar strength despite Biden promises of $1 trillion deficit spending plans, UK regulatory crackdowns, FCA fraud warnings, and bank deposit blocks, and finally, one major institutional buyer throwing in the towel. That's another thing, with Biden coming in and with an all-Democratic Congress, the stimulus should have been passed long ago. It's absolutely disgusting that it hasn't. And I know a lot of people want to blame one side or the other. Both sides are at fault. There was a stimulus bill on the table that Nancy Pelosi was getting in the way of. So anybody who says, "Oh, well, the left wanted stimulus," those evil Republicans didn't. Nancy Pelosi was blocking the stimulus. Even Wolf Blitzer was going down her throat saying, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. We have a really good stimulus here, and they didn't pass that. Well, then Trump said he wanted the $2,000 stimulus, but no strings attached to it, right? Like, it's absolutely insane that the first stimulus they passed for, I think, 600 was giving, tens of millions of dollars to Pakistan for gender studies. We were giving like billions of dollars to Israel. Like, why are we sending all this money around the world to these other countries and we're not even taking care of our own people? We're not even taking care of our own businesses. And then that one wound up getting shut down by evil Mitch McConnell. So both sides are at fault. Both sides are horrible. But now with the Democrats controlling the House, the Senate, and the presidency, they can pass whatever stimulus they want. There's nobody to really get in the way. They can throw in all their pork and weird rules and laws like making people felons and sending them to prison for 10 years for streaming movies and music and things like that. And they can pack all that in and it's going to pass, and they're still going to get a pat on the back for helping the American people. And I think that is going to kind of pump up everything, including the stock market, cryptocurrency markets, real estate, etc. So well, things may continue to slide for a little bit as soon as Biden gets in and we get a $2,000 stimulus on top of the 600 that's still making its way around. I think we'll see a little bit of a rush in pretty much all assets. Some crypto traders have suggested comments from the UK's financial watchdog could raise concerns among recent market entrants. The FCA issued a stark warning for consumers looking to profit from crypto. Be ready to lose everything. They said investing in crypto assets or crypto investments and lending linked to them generally involves taking very high risks with investor money, the Financial Conduct Authority said in a statement. I don't know if you guys have seen the video I put out this morning. It was titled How I Made $10,600. I think it was actually $10,500 off of the Binance affiliate program. That's one of my favorite ways to get into the cryptocurrency market. If you're a freelancer, if you provide some type of services, offer your service and offer to be paid in Bitcoin. Not that it's free, right? Because you could be getting cash instead and then you'd have money, but there you're earning additional money on top of your day job or whatever your normal revenue stream is to dump into crypto. Or in the case of my Binance video, through affiliate marketing. I'm a huge fan of affiliate marketing. I'm going to be putting out a lot more affiliate content, and it's not all going to be crypto affiliate programs, but I will be touching on crypto affiliate programs, and that's an awesome way to essentially play with house money or play with money that isn't yours in a sense. Additionally, the Times reports that some banks are refusing to transfer from Bitcoin exchanges. Some have pointed to Bitcoin's rise above its stock flow fair value as being a catalyst for a pullback. Finally, Guggenheim's Scott Menard sparked some concerns when he tweeted that it was time to take some money off the table. Bitcoin's parabolic rise is unsustainable in the near term. And that's another thing, you can't look at this as, oh my gosh, Bitcoin lost 30% overnight. You got to look at this as Bitcoin gained, 3,000%. And I don't know what the percentage is off my head, but Bitcoin gained 500% over the past 2 weeks, and it just gave up 30% of that. I think most people, assuming you didn't invest at the peak, most people are pretty happy with that performance. As a reminder, in late December, Minard predicted Bitcoin could eventually reach 400,000. That's the end of the article. Let's take a look at some of the comments. I only got a couple minutes here and I got to get running, so we'll try to wrap this up pretty quickly. When it goes to zero, you can reformat the memory card so you at least have something. Asking for a friend, Crater Coin, something is cratering. I notice most comment sections seem to hate on Bitcoin, and I think Zero Hedge is kind of an older, kind of more conservative audience, so it's not really surprising. When bankers like JP Morgan is bullish on Bitcoin, then it's time to sell. That's definitely true, and that's kind of what Brian Phobos said in a recent video. Maybe I'll link to it down below. He was like, when JP Morgan and Ty Lopez and everybody else is pumping crypto, that's kind of the tail end of the retail investors rushing in. No freaking way should Coinbase be allowed to IPO. Coinbase has ripped off a lot of people. The formal complaints. A lot of Bitcoiners feel the same. Coinbase is a scam, but Coinbase is not Bitcoin. Either you're disingenuous or too stupid to understand. Let's see. And there's your real problem. If they cancel the president of the United States and take entire free speech platforms down over a weekend, what makes you think they can't take cryptos down too? Sure, Bitcoin is global and decentralized, but so are the elites who run the world. Here's the thing that most people don't understand about crypto, and most of the cryptocurrency social media platforms and things like that have been poorly managed and kind of flopped. I'm thinking of things like Steemit and Hive and Minds and a lot of those. They just haven't really brought on adoption. They've kind of brought on their own forms of censorship. They've kind of been abused by whales and things like that. But that's one of the things about crypto is nobody can shut cryptocurrency down. Nobody can silence people on free speech platforms like Steemit. But they just haven't seen the adoption that they need. Really the biggest thing that could wind up happening, and I don't see it happening just because institutions and banks have gotten involved, there's so many people involved, it's kind of like smoking, right? Like, smoking should probably be banned, but you have so many smokers and so many people who are addicted to smoking that at this point you can't take it away. And I feel like crypto is kind of the same thing. The genie has been let out of the bottle. You can't put it back in. You can't ban it. The only thing that the government really could do is shut down fiat exchanges, and I do think that would hurt crypto. I do think it would knock a lot of people out of crypto, but you're still going to have decentralized exchanges. You're still going to have platforms like local Bitcoins. I know local Bitcoins eventually did start KYCing as well, but some rogue platform will pop up that allow people to trade or exchange Bitcoin peer-to-peer without the use of a platform. That is a little bit trickier, though, just because if you're somebody who's new to Bitcoin, it's going to be kind of overwhelming and potentially even dangerous meeting somebody at a gas station or a grocery store to give them $30,000 for a Bitcoin. But hope to some scale or to some level, you would see small, independent, local communities pop up where people could buy things with Bitcoin. It'd almost be like kind of like a little bartering society where people are buying and trading Bitcoin for items like on things like Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. But obviously that would take a lot of liquidity out, and a lot of new people who just love the ease of trading on Coinbase and things like that would probably leave the space. I'm not going to go through the rest of these comments. I got to get running. Let me know what you guys think about this. Will Bitcoin and other cryptos continue to slide? If so, how far will they slide? Where do you see Bitcoin a month from now, at the end of the year? Drop your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button below. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up, and we'll catch you on the next one.